So whilst today says it's for King Charles's coronation, we're not really going to go on about the coronation because obviously we've talked about that a lot. Instead, what we're actually going to look at is how people use tactics in their social media off the back of the coronation. So basically, it's no different to leveraging Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, anything like that. It's ultimately about taking something that's happening across the board, a big conversation, and then turning that into content that you can use yourself. Now, as always, if you can use the Q&A button, if you've got any questions for me, that would be great. Here we are. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to look at how you can show off, my screen, there we go. And we're going to look at how you can show off unique products, so things that are a wee bit different or stuff that you've done as a sort of limited edition via social media and the different tactics you can use. We are going to look at the importance of tagging if you want to promote something. So whether that's tagging a person, a brand, a place, we're going to have a look at that. And we are going to have a look at how to use social media to drive physical footfall. So how you can link, if you've got a bricks and mortar place as well, how you can link the digital and the physical. And then we're also going to have a look at competitions as well. So how you can use national competitions, national events and campaigns and turn that into competitions for social media. And then how you can leverage, I guess, off the back of like the big conversations that are happening everywhere. Now, I've got something really cool to show you guys, and I'm actually really excited about it, and I'm more excited about this than showing you the rest of the webinar, so I'm just going to tell you it now. So this is our new AI software, which is now in Maybe. Now, if you guys haven't heard of the likes of chat or AI, essentially it is artificial intelligence. It's like a little baby, and you teach it lots of things. You teach it how to I guess speak your type of language. You teach it your tone of voice. You can teach it the type of things you want to talk about on a regular basis. And then what that does is it then learns it, and then it starts to develop content for you. So it learns from the internet, so what's already out there in the internet, and then it learns from you, and then smashes that back together, and then it helps you guys plan your content. So one of the biggest things that we know at Maybe is that most people struggle to actually, even if you know what you want to talk about, it's, well, how do you write a post? How do you make it sound really cool? So what we're trying to do is take some of that pressure out of it. So this is Maybe dashboard. Now I am going to write an Instagram post. Now I'm not going to post this. This is just for me to show you. So in Maybe you can go into your dashboard and you can go into, say, content calendar. And then I want to create a new post. So I want to write something about, post about, what would I want to write about? About the coronation of King Charles. No, that's better work now that I'm actually showing you guys this. Okay, so there we go. I want to write a post. I go to this little AI button here, and it can add in hashtags, it can add in emojis, but actually I've decided I want to make it sound funny. It's written me a little post. Now, bear in mind, this is never going to be perfect. The idea should be that you can take this and go, right, okay, this is quite cool. This doesn't quite sound like me, so I'm going to switch it up. So here it says, I've just written, I want to write a post about King Charles' coronation. Today's a momentous day in the history of our great nation. We celebrate the coronation of King Charles, who will reign over us with wisdom and justice. Long live the king. Now, that isn't particularly funny, but that's the point. It is learning. So that has just written me a post. And then what I can do is say, right, okay, I want to add in some hashtags. So it'll find the appropriate hashtags for me. So monarchy, royalty, and then I can add in all of my own. I want to add in some emojis. And then I might want to translate that into Spanish. Let's hope this works. There we are. So if you need multiple languages, done. No need to Google. If you are struggling to write a post about a thing, say it's about, I don't know, you've got a really nice new protein powder that you're selling, and you actually want to write a post about the benefits of protein powder, rather than Googling it, you basically, or you can take it from Google, add it into this, and then you can summarize it. And then all you do is you tag in your products if you need to. You can tag in anybody else that's to do with it. So you might, in this case, tag in King Charles, for example. You can do a location, and then you can add in a video, and you can turn it into a reel as well. So just wanted to show you guys, this is brand new. If you're struggling with how to use it, have a play with it, but always just click on this little blue button. But ultimately what our job is to, we're not trying to write your content for you. Only you can write your content, but AI can give you a little helping hand to make it easier for you to articulate what you want to say. And then all you have to do is edit it. So it just takes so much time out of your busy days. So yes, very, very exciting. So that's AI. But remember, this is why we do this thing, because guess what? 79.1% of consumers in the UK spend over an hour on social media every day. And then 19% of businesses have active social media accounts. I'm sick of saying this. Can everybody please just get your social media account and actually start posting? Because this is where the customers are. It's where we all are. We all walk about with these things all the time, phones. And we want to know things. We want to know what you're doing. We want to know where you're doing it. We want to know what time you're doing it. We want to know if you've got a sale on. We want to know. And we want to know now. I get messages all the time because I look after a lot of people's Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts. And rather than going on their website or even looking at the post that's pinned to say what their opening times are, they will still message me and say, what time are you open till? So they expect now. So be on social media and you will get the customers. If not, you will miss them. That's ultimately what we do, is we connect you guys. We connect businesses with the people. And we help over 25,000 businesses do this. So we help you compare your social media performance with any other business. We give you guys loads of cool tools, including the likes of AI, which has just gone in, which is really exciting. You can schedule, you can do your ads through it. We can help you build your audience through maybe as well. And then you get access to expert resources and training to help you communicate on better. So AKA likes of me, likes of the amazing team behind maybe, that are all sitting there working away in the background to deliver all of this to you guys. So that's my spiel. I've shown you the AI, which I'm still really excited about, but I'm going to go into the content now. So this is Moonshine and Fuggles. So basically what I want to talk to you guys about today isn't about the coronation. What this is about is showing you how brands took a national thing and then leveraged it. So this is Moonshine and Fuggles. I'm just going to go and have a little look at what they've done to show you. Now, as you can see, this is a very beautiful brand. So it's already a beautiful brand anyway. Let's have a look. Come on, Facebook. It always takes a wee second, guys, when you're on Zoom. But they are an alcohol brand. And basically what they did was they created a limited edition alcoholic beverage for the coronation. So they decided, so the Coronation King's Gin goes on sale in store and online at 10 a.m. this Saturday. So they gave us a definitive date and time that it was going to go on sale, and they told us a few days before it. There are only 74 bottles available, so be quick to avoid disappointment. They made it very, very clear that basically this is limited edition. They don't even want you to drink it. Like, this is something that you keep almost, I mean, you might drink it obviously, but at the very least keep a bottle. This is like a memory. This is something that you would have for a long time. That's the idea. It's like a collector's item. So that's what they wanted to do. They've created an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous branding around it. And you see this bit here? It looks like they've written, so batch number 1, they've written that in basically pen. That shows you just how limited edition this is. That makes me, it gives you that fear of missing out, that, oh my God, I really, really want that thing. And to know that there's only 74 bottles available and there'll never be any more. That makes, again, if you are a gin drinker, if you are just a lover of all things monarchy, if you like collecting things, if you want to give a gift to somebody that is all of those things combined, then that is something that I guess you would really, really want. So the idea is that they've created something off the back of the national thing. So whether it was Mother's Day, or whether it was a coronation, or whether it was a jubilee from the Queen before, whether it was any kind of big life event that is happening across the UK, they have created a limited edition something. Anybody can do this. They can create a limited edition anything. They've told us how many bottles that there are available. They've told us when it goes on sale, and then they've gone into loads of detail about it. So made in a 100-litre pot. And then it goes into all the detail about how it's got the base of juniper and the coriander seeds. And again, you can almost taste it if you're a gin drinker. I like gin. So you can almost taste it with all the beautiful detail they've gone into. And there you go. And then it's combined with this, combined with that. It's rounded off by this, making the King Coronation gin an absolute appropriate tipple for the stately occasion. So, you know, they're really gone to town on really giving you lots of detail about it. And then they've told us how we should drink it. So actually, we think that you should drink it with this. It also works well with London Dry Gin. It's sold in the store and on our website, and then they've put the link. That's the great thing about Facebook, is you can put a link, whereas Instagram, it doesn't automatically link through. See you Saturday at 10. Please share. So they have gone to town. I mean, I think the image is beautiful anyway. I'm sure most people would agree it's a gorgeous bottle. It very much sings about, you know, the coronation. It looks lovely. So that would attract my attention anyway. The caption itself, this is all I'm going to see if I look at this, you know, if it's just sifting through my Facebook page, that is all I'm going to see is this bit. So I will know that it goes on sale on Saturday and that at what time, and that there's only 74 bottles available, and I will know that it's only online or in store. So I will immediately want to go to their website and click to find out where their nearest store is, or can I get it online straight away. So think about it. So if there is anything coming up that you think, right, okay, I really want to create a limited edition for example, that what's coming up, National Upcycling Days coming up. You've got lots of national events. Pride, for example, it's Pride Month next month. We'll be doing a bit of a feature on that. So could there be something that you could create where it could be sandwiches, it could be drinks, it could be that you've got nail colors that you want to use, and you're only doing a thing for a month to celebrate Pride and being inclusive. So there's ways of doing it. It doesn't have to be about the monarchy. It doesn't have to be about the coronation. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's about you leveraging the off the back of something and creating something that is a limited edition. People love limited edition. They like having that fear of missing out. They like knowing that, you know, they're going to be the only people that get something, so that they can guess. And guess what? If you're the only person that gets it, trust me when I say you will go online and you will talk about it. You will show it off. You will tag them in. You will show them that, you know, I don't know, if say it was nails, it might be something like that. They've really gone to town on all of the hashtags as well. So again, they've really focused on where they are. So you've got Telford, you've got and then you've got all the royal family kind of ones which you would expect. You've got Shrewsbury, you've got the Shrewsbury business. So they've really focused on, again, anybody who's looking for their local business, if you like, to find them there. You can see people love it. People have tagged people in. We need this. Pleased to say we've got ours from this farm shop. And then people are back and forward, and they've been replying back to comments. Someone got 12 bottles. So someone said how many bottles are left, and they're saying there are only 12 bottles, and they've said she's on her way now. So that is the power of fear of missing out. So trust me when I say creating something that is limited edition for a national event, a campaign, whatever it might be, that is the power of social media. Promote it and then repeatedly go online, even if it's in your stories, say 10 bottles left, 6 sandwiches left, 5 cakes left, whatever it might be. So just have a little bit of a think for how, you know, what is coming up and how can you leverage this whole limited edition, creating a little product, creating something that's just for that, you know, ultimately is out of what you've already got already. M&S, so we are back to national. So this is, now we talk about, and we poke fun quite a lot about good old Colin the Caterpillar and M&S, and I think everybody pokes fun at Colin the Caterpillar and M&S because of the really, really, really big famous court case with good old Aldi and their caterpillar cake, which went to court 2 years ago now, maybe something like that. Anyway, since then, Colin has become very, very famous, as has Cuthbert, as has all the other caterpillars who are involved in all the cakes across all of the supermarkets. And there's always just this thing. So everybody knows Colin the Caterpillar is associated with M&S, but everybody also knows it's more famous now off the back of the big court case. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch it, because honestly, Aldi's social media was hilarious. Right, but what I want to do is actually talk about this. So M&S, they love Colin the Caterpillar, and everybody knows Colin the Caterpillar. He's very famous now. And what they've done is used us in to celebrate the coronation, and we're so excited to share our limited edition Coronation Colin. Now, the interesting thing about this, right, okay, so, very similar to the Jen in that they created a limited edition. So there will be, what they haven't done is say, I don't know, we've only got X amount of stock in these retailers. So, or you can only buy online or anything like that. Look at the little mini ones, though, they're very cute. But they've said limited edition, so it makes me think, right, okay, I can only get them up until the coronation and then they'll be gone, that kind of idea. So yes, you do get the fear of missing out, but probably not as strong as the gin one, is what I would say. But what's really interesting is this. So they have created Colin's own Instagram page. I just love this. It's a cake. It's got its own Instagram. There you go. So they created this off the back of all of the drama that came off the back of the big court case about basically that you weren't allowed to have like a similar looking caterpillar cake because it was against their trademark, blah blah blah. So they've created that, and look, Colin the Caterpillar himself has 55,000 followers. And it says here the OG, so that's the original one. He's a caterpillar and a social butterfly. You can usually find me attending around 800,000 birthday parties every year, aka that's how many they sell in a year, which is insane. And then you can see that he's got his own little Instagram there. Now, I love this because I'm sorry, but it's just taking the mickey out of themselves, and I quite like that. It is something fun. They've done the same. They've got the Percy Peg, which again is quite, is a famous branded item of good old M&S. They've got people tasting it. So what I really like is that they've kind of gone, right, this is our limited edition thing. It's quite serious. This is for the coronation, and we love the king, blah, 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 blah. But here's our link to Colin. So I think Colin has been in the public eye so many times, had so many arguments with other retailers, and now he's got his own Insta. So I think that their way of publicizing the fact that he's got his own Instagram is incredible. It's such a good idea. So think about it. Do you have, for example, my dog, right? He comes into the office with me all the time. And actually on my business Instagram, he features rather heavily. He also features rather heavily on the Instagram of the office building that I have my office in, because he's funny, he's a numpty, he runs around constantly, just wreaking havoc. Usually we take him for nice, sorry guys. We take him for nice big walks, and we he's always there basically. So I genuinely think at some point might have his own little Instagram. We just tag him in, like, I don't know, the Bucky Diaries, for example, because it's called Bucky. Do you have an office pet? Do you have a mascot? Do you have, I don't know, it might even be like, actually, like, it's just a person. It might be like your receptionist who is just hilarious and always full of fun and everybody knows. It might be a member of the staff that everyone loves. And actually it's just, the adventures of Betty, who's worked here for 20 years and blah, blah, blah. So do have a think about how you can get playful with social media, because actually having a little mini Instagram page or mini Facebook page or a hashtag that's really dedicated to it is actually really, really powerful. So I just wanted to share that because it's something a little bit different. And again, they're publicizing it off the back of the coronation. So it's about the coronation, but actually, it's not. It's actually to really, really push the fact that Colin the Caterpillar is the best and he's got his own Instagram kind of thing. So it's poking a bit of fun. Right. Arthur Lee Interiors, very, very different again. So Arthur Lee Interiors, so they are an interior design company, independent business. So again, I wanted to show you guys like a bit of a mix. So here is a little snapshot. So, and they're not going to create like a big coronation product. They're an interior designer. So think about what they do. They design interiors. They do beautiful designs, artwork, that kind of thing. So here, what they did instead was this. I mean, check that out. That is cool. That I'm sorry, but that is just cool. And that is something that is, you know, they're talented. Like that's immediately what I think when I look at that. So what they've done is they were very busy this week getting our front door ready for the coronation next month. If you see our door, please share to photos at our now. This is really, really good. This for me is about combining the physical and the digital. This is them saying, so I always describe Instagram, for example, as your virtual shop window, your digital shop window. So this is them saying, here's our digital shop window, but actually here's our real one. This is where we are. This is what we do. Here, you can see I mean, honestly, like the work that went into making that door is beautiful. I think it looks gorgeous. It is clever. It is bang on what they should be talking about. It's about the coronation, but really what it's doing is showing how bloody great they are at what they do. So for me, it is thinking about actually what is coming up. Do you really focus on your shop windows? Do you really focus on the design, your merchandising? Maybe it is your styling of, you know, an actual place. Or even if it's not, why don't you do something that's a wee bit different for something that's coming up, and think about how you can actually really show that. And just creating a reel is such a nice way of doing it, because what they've done is they've shown the images of basically, you know, it's like before and after. They've shown the, you know, them doing it. They've shown them the intricacies of painting it. They've shown them stripping off the paint, repainting the base coat, putting the new one back on. Like, you know, that has taken a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of skill. And all they've done is taken some videos and pictures of it and chucked it up on a reel. You know, I guess the difficulty wasn't the social media part. The difficulty was actually creating it in the first place. And what I love is if you do something a little bit different and you do focus on your shop window or your signage or anything like that, and you ask people, if you see our door, please share to your photos. So they're asking people to tag them in. They're asking people to tag them in to say that they've seen it. And people are much more likely to do that. So if you want to drive engagement, this is a good way of doing it, is to do something physical, advertise it digitally, and then guess what? They're much more likely to interact with you, to walk past, to take a little picture, anything like that. People absolutely love it, guys. So again, it is just thinking about, you know, whatever you guys do, you can see that people love it. Amazing, love it, love it. We love this, absolutely genius, perfectly executed, just driven past, looks amazing. My little ones and I stopped for chat on Tuesday and we love the new door colours. So, you know, it's a mix of, I think, bloggers, there's a sweet shop in there, there's just random people, you know, that just happen to walk past it that really like it. So, you know, that has gotten a lot of engagement, and it's ultimately just showing off what they do best. So if I was looking for an interior designer, I'd be much more interested in them because they are quirky, they do something different, and because they've already shown me their skill. You know, they're artists at what they do. So it is showing skill, it is leveraging off the back of a national campaign, and it is making sure, I guess, that you are more inclined to tag them into something or to talk about it or share it. So they're actually asking me to do a thing. So there's a call to action. We're back to national. So this is not on the high street. So everything, as we know, with not on the high street is digital. So not on the high street, obviously the whole premise is you don't find their stores, you don't find their products on the high street. Everything is, it's a bit like Etsy in that regard. Everything is handmade. It's a ton of tiny little independent businesses. But it is a huge company now. It's absolutely massive. And again, really, really took over, if you like, through all lockdown with things like crafting, lots of craft businesses and things like that. But what they did for the coronation was they actually launched a competition, which I really like. So here, competition time, get royally ready for a coronation hosting with a whole load of goodies from Proper Goose, aka one of the businesses, plus £100 not on the high street gift voucher. So they have teamed up with a brand to pull together the prize. Competition entry is valid if you've liked the post. So all you have to do is like this post. You need to comment, so just basically write anything. And you've got to be following Not on the High Street. And then it says here, like, this is what it includes. So, I mean, it is beautiful, isn't it? Look at those absolutely gorgeous glasses. Look at the booze. It's lovely the way that they've actually created it. So it looks very Coronation-y, if you like, if that's a word. It looks very Coronation-y. So you know that that's what it is. And yeah, and it doesn't seem like a kind of unwinnable prize. And we talk about competitions on here quite a lot. And people, you know, like they're, you know, like if you put a car on, don't get me wrong, you will get lots of people to enter, but actually people just aren't expecting to win. Whereas instead, if you did, I don't know, 5 prizes that were a couple of £100, or it might be a 20 quid gift voucher, or actually quite a lot of like cafes and things like that do you know what, do you want to just win a pack of donuts, and all you need to do is come in today and say the word donut and you can win it. Little things like that go a huge way. So this is winnable. The £100 gift voucher is great because you can either use that yourself or give it away, and obviously because it's them, they've, you know, got lots of different brands that you can use it with. They have linked up with somebody. Clearly they haven't tagged them in. Don't know why that would have been, unless they don't have a Facebook page, but don't know. But yeah, I would always make sure that I tagged in the brand that I was working with. And again, that's where the power of collaboration is really important. So you don't have to do everything on your own. You can actually collaborate with people, whether it's a local business, whether it's a place, you and a council, it might be a council and some businesses all collaborating together. I saw a shopping centre working with the council the other day on an Easter egg hunt, I think it was. In fact, I think we spoke about it when we were looking at Easter, actually. And it could be 2 businesses working together. It could be you working together with a local football team, anything like that. But actually, the power of collaboration is huge. So if I was you, I would think about, right, okay, again, what's coming up in the next few weeks, which we'll go into talk about in a second. So what's coming up? What would I love? What could I give away as part of that? What could be my competition? And then is there anybody else that I can work with so that it's not all on me? Anybody else that I can, you know, what would go with this prize? All of you collaborate. It's tagging everybody in on Instagram. You can do it as a collaboration anyway. And then both of you share in the post, you're getting extra reach, you're getting extra engagement. And ultimately they're more likely to like your stuff. You're more likely to like their stuff. And it just turns into, again, just a much stronger campaign. So I guess, yes, it's a lovely competition and everybody seems to, you know, have gotten engaged with it. You know, like 1.2 thousand engagements, 183 shares. So people, you know, have gotten behind it. That's great. And ultimately it is just to win, you know, a set of 2 champagne glasses, a beer tankard and a bottle of gin. Not that much, is it? So think about that when you're thinking about planning in your any competitions and things like that over the next few months. So speaking about the next few months, now remember, you can use AI on all this fun stuff. This is our content planner. So this basically pulls together a list of all of the national campaigns, events, national days, so you know, your National Dog Day, National Cat Day, National Donut Day, all that kind of stuff, as well as anything charity wise, as well as anything culturally. We pull it all together on one calendar so that then you guys can look ahead. So I'm doing this with all of my clients. For example, we literally sit down and we look at the months ahead and go, right, okay, I really want to do something for, I think it was recently like National Hypertension Day, so that's great, you know, if you're anything to do with medical or anything to do with fitness, health, that kind of thing. There's you know, diabetes, there's autism. Again, if that's if you've got, I don't know, an autism room in your shopping centre, for example, you want to talk about that. So there's lots of different ones that you can do. So I want to have a look at so June is Pride Month. So for most, and actually Pride Month does go into the next couple of months a little bit as well. But again, if you want to talk about anything to do with Pride, please go hell for leather on it because that's the month to do it. But I want to plan a little bit further in advance. So let's go into July because we're pretty much almost in June now. But again, if you want to write some posts, like literally take some content, if you like, from Google, put it into our little AI section in the content planner, and then you should be able to come up with like some really good posts around it. Okay, so let's have a look. I think we talked about Thank You Day last time, so I am going to look at World Chocolate Day. Right. World Chocolate Day. Why wouldn't anybody want to do World Chocolate Day? If you love chocolate, great. If you sell chocolate, brilliant. If you don't sell chocolate, but actually maybe you are a florist, could you team up with a local chocolatier? Could you give away chocolates for one day with every bunch of flowers that people buy? Could you just have a little, could you work with a local bakery and get some chocolate brownies in and do like a little giveaway? Do you see what I mean? That's how easy that is. It's chocolate day, great, okay, I might not sell chocolate, but actually what goes with chocolate, actually my product does, brilliant. Even if it is that you're a beauty salon and you just give away a hot chocolate on that day, or you give away a little chocolate. These little tiny things you can share on social media, they go a long way, and it's great for customer engagement, it's great for social media. So, you know, it doesn't always have to be this huge thing. World Emoji Day, I mean, here we go, 17th of July. You could go nuts with that. Could you literally for one day just talking emojis on your social media? Could that be fun? It could be asking your team what their favorite emoji is and why. Obviously, you know, being clean, like let's face it. But you know, you could do stuff like that, and that's more for fun. You could do little gifts, you could do little reels, you could do polls on Facebook. What's your favorite emoji and why? Again, asking people to be sensitive to the fact that it's public. Lots of different things you could do. Let's look at one final one. Do you sell tequila? National Tequila Day. Lots in there. Obviously, you know, this is a big one here. So these are just fun ones, but like, so here you've got 24/7 Samaritans Awareness Day, the big listen. So here, so what we do is we put down what it is, when it is, and then we actually write what it's about. So get involved in the worthwhile cause of raising awareness of the important work the Samaritans carry out. If you're a company that would like to get involved, you can visit the Samaritans to get more information about a sponsorship package. So essentially that is a day where basically they want to promote that there's somebody out there to listen all the time, to catch people before things get too bad for them. So if that's something that you could promote on your social media, I think it's a really, really important one. Can you do something to raise a bit of awareness with your team? Could you have you know, like I think even like shopping centers, for example, in places they have like a little bench for, you know, if you're feeling a bit lonely, and it's like your chatty bench or something like that, and people know if you're sitting on there, they actually just want to chat. You know, that's all it's all about sometimes. So that's a big one that anybody could get involved with, and any business, in fact, should get involved with. And then all the other ones are, you know, they're a bit of fun, really. But, you know, there's lots of big ones like that you can really think about, well, actually, what can I do for my customers? What can I do for my community? What can I do? You know, there's a shopping centre that one of the barbers in there, he actually has done mental health awareness training, and he does a day every week where basically men, because it's barbers, men can come in and they can just have a chat to him. You know, that is something that you could publicize as part of that sort of Samaritan side of things. So anything like that, I guess, you know, that's a really good time to do it. So just thinking ahead, guys. So remember, we have obviously shown you guys loads of stuff today. So there's loads of different things you can do, but we actually want to help you do it. So again, come to one of the training sessions that we do every day. Monday's literally how to use maybe. Friday is advanced ads. So, you know, like if you already have done some ads and you want to get even better at it, you can come in, you can ask the team, they can help you with it. And then we've got all the other ones in between. And then we've also got all the social media tools at your disposal. So you can schedule in all of your posts, you can advertise, you can do reporting, you can learn from competitors, and then you can chat to us all the time. So if you get any questions, you click on the blue button. We've got our drop-ins, so we've got all the videos that we make on a daily basis. So loads and loads of stuff, I guess, that you guys can use, but that's what we're here for, is to keep, you know, building what you need onto the platform, and then showing you guys how to use it to make your life easier. Right, so the key takeaways from today are: use FOMO, or fear of missing out, to create interest in your products on social media. So think back to the gym. Call the caterpillar probably a bit less so, but yeah, think back to the gym. If you've only got X amount of products, you're only doing it for one day, even if it's not off the back of a national day, it doesn't matter. Just, talk about it, like, give people an update. You've only got 3 items left, 2 items left, 1 item, last one, hold it up, show that you've only got 1 left. First person down's, the winner kind of thing. Always remember to tag if you've got multiple accounts, and use the appropriate hashtags, aka calling the caterpillar. So if you, like me, but as I said, I might give Bucky, my dog, his own little Instagram, if it gets popular enough. And people do that with mascots. They do it for people in their team who just happen to be really social media friendly. So why not do it? And also, yeah, as I say, use the appropriate hashtags. Encourage people to tag you in on social media. So make sure that you and connect the physical and the digital. So if you do something physically in your store, if you do something in your shop window, if you do something in your office, actually show it off, because that's the whole point, is that I'm not always going to walk past your business to see what you do. So make sure you show it on social media. Try competitions on your social media, but make sure you adhere to all the guidelines of the channel. So remember, every channel's got different competition guidelines. Again, we've got sections on this on Maybe, so just type it into the little blue button and stuff will come up to give you guys some guidance on it.